As we begin Christmas week and the holiday season continues, we are keeping a close eye on the forecast as folks make their plans. We've got Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry here now, tracking the cold and what lies ahead the next few days. Melissa.
Yeah, I guess one of the coldest Decembers that we have seen in a number of years, and that's true for much of the state. And that's not going to change anytime soon. Take a look at those current conditions outside right now. Of course, the sun has set, although getting later now with each day on the other side of solstice. But we're sitting at 1 degree. The wind chill also, fortunately, not impacted by any strong winds here in Anchorage. But air temperatures are much colder as you head out to the east side of town. 13 below right now at the Camel Creek Science Center, 7 below on Muldoon and on the Anchorage hillside. Arctic Boulevard, you're at 3 below. Merrill Field at 1 below. So again, that cold air is settling in here across the city and across South Central. Below zero temperatures already for Kenai, Soldotna, Portage, Wasilla, Palmer, Talkeetna, and Golcana, sitting at 31 below. And again, that does not include the wind chill. We're seeing temperatures right back down to 40 below as we speak in Fairbanks. Temperatures to 20 below in McGrath, 7 below in Juneau. But check out the west side of the state. Different story. It's nearly 30 degrees in Bethel, nearly 25 in Nome. And that is because there is an incoming storm bringing both warmer air and snow first to western Alaska. And then we'll see that coming into the interior late Tuesday, heading into Wednesday. That is why winter storm warnings and blizzard warnings are in effect. We will also see that heavy snow along the Dalton Highway through the Brooks Range and all the way into Prudhoe Bay. For the eastern side of the state, though, from that 40-mile country all the way down into the Copper River Basin, cold weather settling in. It is there to stay. We're also seeing the extreme cold across southeast. Extreme cold warnings and cold weather advisories in effect. Wind chill values extreme in the higher elevations, but even in town, 5 to 20 below zero for that wind chill from Juneau to Sitka and into Ketchikan this week. Right now, those air temperatures sitting below zero in Juneau, again at 7 below. Overnight tonight, we'll hold on to those sub-zero temperatures in Anchorage under those clear skies, barely getting into those double digits as we head into tomorrow and this week. Again, Fairbanks warming to 20 below with that snow on the way. All more details on how much snow you should expect there, Augusta, here in just a few minutes.
All right, Melissa, thank you so much. And like she was saying, the interior remains in a deep freeze, and it's not only adults that have become vulnerable to these deadly temperatures, but kids as well. As the only shelter in Fairbanks dedicated to kids, the door is still at full capacity since around Thanksgiving. According to Fairbanks Youth Advocates, which operates the door, all 12 of their beds are in use, and they put to use their 2 emergency beds in recent weeks as well. They tell us they're seeing increasing demand from the community and the kids on their wait list. The shelter has been working to find temporary support for kids that they don't have room for. Leaders of Fairbanks Youth Advocates say part of this increase is related to economic difficulties in town and behavioral concerns. But the lack of shelter space for kids in the interior could place some youth at risk.
So before Thanksgiving, we saw a rise, and that was even before the temperatures got to this level, right? So that was already a concerning higher number. Then now with the temperatures, if there's more kids out there, you know, like they don't have a chance of surviving right now.
Marino says youth that need shelter should still reach out to the door for support. And when winter comes, Alaskans tend to know how to prepare for these bitter temperatures, but there are a few things that can be overlooked. We want to make sure to remind you to take care of your pipes so they don't freeze. If they do, a heating expert tells us you can carefully use a hairdryer to slowly melt the ice. However, there is always a risk in doing it yourself.
As long as it is vented, you're fine. But if you are in with a non-vented unit, it's it's not recommended to utilize. So our houses in Alaska are so tight that they will trap any moisture coming from this units and could cause mold, everything else like that. So it's just being cautious on that, and we're trying to keep down the carbon monoxide.
These tips, along with others, could increase your safety and even save you a little money when temperatures hit those bitter lows. And developing now, Anchorage Police have identified the woman found dead at Basher Trailhead last week. But even after this discovery, there are several questions that still remain. We've got our Johnson Kuhn in the newsroom tonight with some of those details. Johnson.
That's right, Augusta. Anchorage Police responded to the Basher Trailhead last Friday, December 19th, around 12:39 p.m. That's where officers located and identified the victim as 28-year-old Kaitlyn Kaganak. Kaganak had been reported missing to Anchorage Police back on December 9th. After checking things out, APD put out a public alert on December 11th, letting everyone know she was missing. They updated that alert on December 21st after next of kin notifications were completed. A statement from the Kaganak family was shared with Alaska's news source via a third party and reads, "I just want them caught and put away, and if others were involved, I wish they would say something." Alaska's news source reached out to Anchorage Police asking about potential suspects, search warrants, or if any vehicles have been seized. APD tells us the investigation is ongoing, but they're not releasing further details right now. Police say detectives worked on this case every single day, bringing in K-9 units and search and rescue teams to help. APD says those efforts, carried out over nearly 2 weeks, reflects the scale of the department's response following the initial missing persons report. Now, anyone with information is urged to contact Anchorage Police Dispatch. We've made that information available on our website and mobile app. We'll bring you updates with more information as that becomes available. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
All right, Johnson, thanks so much. And new tonight, the Bureau of Land Management has approved an updated integrated activity plan for the National Petroleum Reserve here in Alaska. That decision opens up nearly 82% of the 23 million acre reserve to oil and gas leasing. Supporters say the approval aligns with the previous 2020 plan and restores the reserve's purpose as a strategic domestic energy supplier. This decision is part of a larger effort to boost access to development on federal lands in Alaska. The Fairbanks North Star Borough is one step closer to deciding what projects it's going to fund in the coming years as a committee wraps up the process of scoring each of those projects for its merits. That committee is made up of members of the community as well as some government officials. The group reviewed 96 potential projects to decide if they're needed and will lead to improvements. Many of the projects being scored this year involve Parks and Rec or the school district, and all were approved for consideration by the Borough Assembly. Mayor Greer Hopkins says he's gotten a lot of requests for an indoor recreation facility.
When I go to classrooms around the community from third grade to high school, I ask, what does this community need that would make you as students here excited to keep living here and have more things to do? And without a heartbeat, nearly every time it is, we need indoor turf, we need indoor recreation opportunities. And that's from families to kids in third grade.
Marino says youth that need shelter should still reach out to the door for support so they can do what they can to help. The Assembly is expected to take another look at potential projects like indoor turf in February. It is the season to be jolly, and the Menard Sports Center is trying its best to make sure everyone is feeling some love. Today, they set up for a Christmas friendship dinner. That began at the Menard Sports Center in Wasilla. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 3 on Christmas Day. It's going to be free, and it features a Christmas tree decorating contest. Besides that, there's food, and organizers say there's going to be things like face painting, balloon artists, and caricatures. They say, organizers say it gives people a chance to connect with their community and have a good time before the holidays.
We have a care and compassion team that walks around, and Christmas can either be the best holiday in the world or it can be the loneliest, depending on what's happened in your life over the year. So we have this team that walks around, and if they see someone that's sitting all by themselves, or if they look like they're in distress in any way, we just sit and talk to them and just make a conversation.
That's so great. Again, that event is on Thursday, Christmas Day, from 11 a.m. to 3. This tradition started back in 1991. And a reminder, this holiday week may be a good time to catch up on our Political Pipeline podcast. Some of our latest episodes include conversations with Senate Minority Leader Tom Begich and the Alaska Beacon's reporter James Brooks. It's available to listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.